All right, you guys, back with another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me. Now, not the sharpest man in the drawer, y'all. You know, hell erupts. And why are the nation angry today? And who are the nation that are angry at the resurrection of the dead? See the 18th verse of this 11th chapter of this revelation in the Bible plainly teach us that these nations are angry and mad because of the rise of the dead, and that God Himself was the source of the power behind the resurrection of a rise of a mentally dead people, the black man. It is these slaveholders who have been the real cause of a mentally deaf of the people the revelation relates to as being deprived of justice. God comes to give them justice and to justify them as being equal to their slave masters as human beings. As you know, for the 400 years of legal slavery and free slavery, an American so called, they have never been recognized even as human beings. As one devil says, they are only 3/5 of a human being. It is true that the history of our treatment by the devil's slave master practically made our parents and ourselves less than human beings. That's why I teach that the main right we should seek first are human rights. The American so-called Negro flew in love with his slave master and his slave master children because unlike attract them and their brothers in Africa. Therefore, the manifestation an enemy, the devil, and the resurrection makes the dead to see that which caused them to be mentally dead. In the parable of the donkey who piled out meeting with the angels, he saw that the burden he had been carrying on his back was false. So resurrection of a mentally dead so-called they are rising toward knowledge of self. This knowledge make them rebuke or refuse to continue to carry the slave master as something to worship. This have angered slave master as the donkey refused to anger Balaam. Balaam said about whooping and beating the donkey to force him as unusual to carry and respect him as his master. This use of force to compel the one slave, the black Americans, to remain with them, even now in order to make them members of society, is only false recognition of the black Americans. This lost and now found people, a black nation of Asia and Africa. This continuous cruelty by the white slave master inflicted upon the so-called Negro have angered God as the cruelty the Egyptian inflicted upon the Israelites during the time of Pharaoh anger Jehovah. This is a repetition of Israel history and of Pharaoh evil in these modern times. The parents of Jehovah and of Moses, the servants of Jehovah, to announce to Pharaoh the end of Israel's slavery. Pharaoh became angry and went to work to try to instruct and bring to nothing Jehovah's delivery of Israel through his servant Moses. This brought Pharaoh to his end, and he and his army was cast into the Red Sea because they tried to prevent the freeing of Israel by the God. The angry nation refers to white America and Europeans who were also enslaved of the black man. Take, for instance, the part that England, Germany, France, and Italy had all played it enslavements of black Africans and black people throughout Africa, Asia, here in America, North and South America. There is no such thing in the nature of white people as justice and freedom for black people, especially not for blacks in the Western hemisphere. Now their anger is running them mad and they are attacking and killing each other. There is no such thing as peace amongst them, nor can they produce peace for others. The Holy Quran refers to this condition as the kind of hell. Surah 81, verse 12. Never before have you witnessed the evil that is spreading far and wide every hour of the day in America and Europe. England and America being not the first, but the chief slave makers are black people. They dislike the idea of having a lie dispose of their power over a Negro, though they knew this was coming, the loss of their slaves. This is the time of increased knowledge. God has given the black man of America more light, and to this increase of divine knowledge than any black elsewhere does he choose to make for himself a great nation out of the former slave of America. Why America is angry at God for resurrecting the black slave to the knowledge of self and the slave master. This means that they are entering into a war with Almighty God Allah to try to oppose the truth of God preached by the Messenger of God. Read the second Psalms. The Great Commotion. The Great Commotion of the governments and people of America. The civil unrest, insurrection, mental excitement, and noisy confusion. There is no action that is being taken, nor can there be any action taken that will bring the people into a better condition of civil actions. The white American people have practiced evil and injustice to the man in the mud, the black slave, for so long that they think that there will never be any divine action taken against them for such evil and injustice. But this is what now is affecting. It is the action of divine justice for the poor man, poor black slaves. Allah God and the person Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. The power that he's using, and he's using his power on the wicked to bring them to their knees in humiliation. Allah God is the greatest, and there is no equal to him. Allah God can take us by our own way of thinking and spin us as though we are a play toy. We cannot fight a successful fight against him. Today he is too powerful. He listens in on our thinking, is capable of making us to think and to do that which he desired to be done. We see the great commotion today is witnessed by the nation of the earth, for it is America whom God is after for mistreatment of the poor so-called Negro, lost found, original black members of their nation. America mistreat and kill her black slave for sport. But we see America days is drawing to a close, and she will not have the freedom to mistreat the black one slave much longer, as the mistreatment of Egyptian practice against Israel came to an end. So will the mistreatment of the black slave by white America comes to an end. America has so blind and made deaf and dumb the black man America, her black slave, that she would make empty promises to the black slave, and he would accept her false promise and forsake the true promise of Allah God and the person Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who is here offering us heaven at once. The great commotion will continue in America until this commotion has destroyed the power of oppositions. The title of this chapter is taken from the Holy Quran, Surah 101, The Disaster. What is the disaster? And what will make you know how terrible is the disasters. In the English language, according to the Webster Dictionary, the word disaster means a state of deep distress, misery caused by major misfortune or loss, or a great event marked by great loss. and lasting distress and affliction. Such disaster is now prevailing in America. It is getting worse daily. The third verse of this chapter of the Holy Quran, Surah 101, verse 3, asks the question. It will make you know how terrible is the disasters. The answer is given in the fourth verse. The day wherein man will be as scattered as moths. We do not have to ask anyone whether or not this warning of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. We see the fulfillment of this prophecy with our eyes and hear with our ears these great disasters that are now striking America. We see the great division, the great disagreement, disunity, and murder of man. We see the great amount of raping, murdering girls and women. There's a great robbery and thieves going on every hour of the day and night. There are great storms and adverse weather conditions. There are minor earth tremors and hailstorms. These are signs and wonder signs being displayed in the heavens and earth and on sea and land. There is unusual behavior of children. There is unusual love or dislike of children by mothers and fathers and destruction of the process of childbirth. There is the great disaster of starvation and great destruction of health and life by the use and administering of poison drugs, which is practiced upon those who are free and those who are bound. What had been known as America is threatened today with total destruction. America is destroying herself in her effort to destroy her black slaves. The water and air of America are being polluted by chemical use. American scientists of war conducts dreadful experiments on how best to kill human beings by the millions and wipe out the life of whole continents. These are the days of fulfillment of prophecy of not one but of many disasters. When all of these preparations of destruction of human life by the devil, Allah God too has planned to save his people. Allah God has claimed over the black slave as being his people. And the white slaveholders is angry because of the loss of the black slave by the virtue of this claim. Allah God comes to take the black slave away from the enemy white slaveholders and join the black slave into his own kind again. The enemy white slaveholders hates this, but Allah God has the power to force the enemy white slaveholders to submit to his will. It is the will of Allah God that enemy white slaveholders let these black slaves go free. Allah God promised concerning the white slaveholders and the black slaves. The Bible, Isaiah 43, verse 6. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my son from afar, and my daughter from the ends of the earth, America. Since Allah God has now claimed the black slave, giving them the truth, Allah God has called the black slave who has accepted truth by his name. The black slave who has accepted truth of his greatness and being one of the righteous nation of his kind belong to Allah God. The book must be fulfilled, wherein it prophesies that he will claim them to be his own elect. At such time as the destruction of America, if Allah God has not chosen some of the people of America, the black slave, to be his people, there will not have been any flesh saved from America. We see the Bible, Mark 13:20, teaches us, and except that the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he has chosen, he has shortened the days. Now let's go in this Revelation chapter. Let me see. Bear with me here. Chapter 6:14 in the Revelations. It says here, the skies vanished like a straw, and as being rolled up, and every mountain and island were removed from its place. And the kings of the earth, and the great ones, and the general, and the rich, and the powerful, everyone, slave free, hid himself in a cage, and amongst the rocks of the mountains, calling to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of the wrath hath come, and who can stand it? Now the people will flee to the cage and the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord, and the splendor of his majesty, when he comes to rise the earth. Now, the mountains is splitting over there in certain states, y'all. And so things is gradually building for the great event. It's going to be catastrophic. And I told you guys, y'all, we don't have 20, 15 years. I'm going to tell you guys, no more than 2 years, you see tsunamis. And I'm not putting this fear tactic, because I don't use fear tactic, but I'm telling you guys, the mountain is finna split into 3 fragments. Tsunamis is here. Things is gradually hitting this earth in a matter of time. So this is the time that you seek refuge in God like never before. Like never before. Because at such time as destruction of America, see, if Allah God has not chosen some of his people of America, the black slave, to be his people, see, there would not have been any fresh slave from America. But the Bible, Mark 13:20, teach us, except that the Lord has shortened the days, no flesh will be saved. But now, for the sake of his elect, whom he has chosen, he has shortened the time. The black slave must know that this is the time of the judgment of both the white slaveholders and the black slaves. The black slave must learn to know his place in the judgment. The place of the black slave is with Allah, God, and his own black people. The black slave had been deprived of knowledge of his God and his own black people. Allah God has come and brought the black slave the truth. If the black slave refused to accept the truth, he would be destroyed for willingly and knowingly rejecting the truth. When the truth comes and its millers. See, disaster in the country of America. No secret can remain hidden, for the chastisement of Allah God will not let you hide it. I say it again, for the chastisement of Allah God will not let you hide it. And see, I want to say they know this prophecy for a long time before you even know it. See, this is why they tell you that, well, we're going to cancel out FEMA, because FEMA ain't going to be able to do nothing. These funds that they have, they're only going to give you little funds, because the funds, you guys, ain't going to cover the expense. There's going to be trillions of damage through natural disaster. And they know this. And they know it's a prophecy being fulfilled. They can't straighten up this mess. Y'all got to listen to me, man. We don't have long, y'all. This is not 15, 20 years. Don't let the day surprise you. Don't let it catch you off guard. The time is here. You have to have a preparedness, a preparation. Because FEMA don't have one. You better have one. If the insurance companies don't have one, you better have one. So it says here, disaster, disaster in the country of America. See, no secret can remain hidden, for the chastisement of Allah God will not let you hide it. As one writer prophesies in the Bible, Isaiah 18, verse 1, whom to the land shallow with rings. This prophecy refers to America, which have a cloud of planes shadowing the skies over America almost daily. Now, can America exist? See, the coming of this white man to the western hemisphere was for the purpose of expansion away from his brethren in Europe. See, Europe was divinely given to the right race as a home when it was driven out of Arabia 6,000 years ago to abide there on that continent until the days of reckoning comes to them. These are the days of reckoning for the right race, as the religious scholars and scientists agrees. But because of their nature, evil, they cannot help doing evil things against the righteous. They make war against the righteous, the black man, to prevent him from accepting righteousness and the doing of righteousness. Today, the black man in America is a prey into the strong, powerful hands of his enemies, the children of the slave masters. For 400 years, the slave masters have mistreated their slave, and now, in the days of their redemption, they are doing everything possible to deceive them from accepting their starvation that Allah now offers to the black man of America. So strong is Allah God's love for us that He now desires nothing but a total destruction of America. They hate me with a bloody hatred, and they tried to kill me for teaching the truth to my people. They do not want this black man of America to enjoy freedom, justice, and equality. Look what they did to Reverend Martin King, a man who was trying to be their brothers, a man who probably taught that he did not want to draw the white man's blood. He said if there was any blood to be spilled, let it be the black man's blood. His words came true. Poor man. He was without the knowledge of self, his God and religion, and so filled with fear of his 400-year-old enemy that he could never get starvation from his people, from the enemy. America had been blessed ever since the fathers came across the Atlantic, out of the confines of Europe, until this day. Now for evil done to a slave, see, God threatened her with total destruction. America and Germany are the most evil of the right race. The two governments have been blessed, but they have not shown any worthwhile respect to Allah for His blessing. Allah calls people out of all nations of the earth to come to America. They came seeking a heaven and earth, but those who came was evil too. As Revelation language teaches us, Revelation 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, America, the great is fallen, come in the habitation of devils, and hold every foul spirit, and cage every unclean and hateful bird. It's like a haven. People dwells here. It's like a person that live as a hated bird. There is no people, we see, no country on earth who feel this prophecy better than America and our people. Now, don't cry to us when things hit the fence. We don't want y'all crying. Ain't no happy birthday to Donald Trump. It's hell that's finna come. Hell is a appointed place. You see, today she has become a house filled with evil practice, and every member of the nation taking part. Because immorality is now here, and every nation taking part, every nation where they get underneath that task, where they get underneath the God of righteousness, the God of justice, the God of freedom, the God of equality. Such a shame. Yet she had been blessed with great harvests of food, which is enough to feed the nation of the earth. And with her great advancements into the heights of her mechanical knowledge, and with her great wealth in silver and gold that enabled her once upon a time to command the value of silver or gold of the world. But as it is written, and all of this growing up of wealth and power, see, the act of justice was led at the roots of the great tree of prosperity and authority of the nation of the earth, to be used by the Holy One to put a stop to the evil practice and injustice to the righteous. America has prospered from the labor of her black slave. She pays the black man high wages and salaries, and then take them back from him to the high cost of living. See, this high cost of living are trying to live according to the way the white man lives, keeps this black man down. And we has inquired education of the white man, but is unable to compete with the white man. He becomes dissatisfied to the degree of creating trouble to find a way to self prosperity against the will of the white man is to keep this black man in a condition of poverty want and disregard as equal human beings. Yet, while the white man teaches that all human beings are created accordingly, at the same time, he robbed this black man of a chance to be the equal of other human beings. Now, do this make you a full American citizen owner? Or do this make you an un-American citizen? Now, I want to say, can America exist with all of her wicked doing against this black man in America in a state of inequality with other human beings? The continued existence of America and a way of government's power over people other than her own depends on the way she will continue to treat her one slave, the black people of America. Due to the prophecy of the Bible from Moses to Jesus and Muhammad. The prophet saying of these prophets teach us that a coming showdown between Allah God and the slaveholders of his people, black America, must come to pass. The time has arrived of this prophecy of defender coming to defend the prey, so-called nigger, who is held in bondage by the white slaveholders, who have and are still mistreating the prey to the extent that the world is in sympathy with the prey for justice. Now it is prophesied that a just ruler will come, and he has come to set up a rule or kingdom under the laws of justice for a people that live under laws of injustice by unjust rulers. This must be fulfilled. The next government for the people, university, is going to be under such a glorious rule of freedom, justice, and equality. It is natural that the old ruler will oppose a new ruler coming to remove him and his authorities to rule the people. He will fight to keep his place and authorities over the people. This is why Allah threatened his opponents with the final declaration of war that will end the opponent's opposition to his laws of righteousness. I have been writing for many years of the coming doom of the world of Christianity, mainly America, who is the root and the cause of this present judgment of America. The judgment of America is due to the way that she has treated the so-called nigger the black people of America for 400 years. The very hour in which I'm writing, America is still mistreating our one slaves with the worst kind of treatment ever according to human beings. America practiced the way of her father mistreatment, an American so-called under what she called a law of freedom. But this freedom is only words, not in practice. The slave master children's blood heart and way of thinking towards the one slave is the same as their fathers. They find it so free to beat and kill the one slave, so-called at will, that they will continue this practice of mistreating and murdering the slave day and night, because there is no law of justice for the black man of America, who is the property of their fathers, of America right citizens. America never think in terms of being equally punished for the wrong done to a so-called Negro. The Bible parable of Balaam riding a donkey must be remembered. And when angels went to settle the unjust mistreatment of the donkey by Balaam, see, the angel found Balaam still beat, forcing the donkey to carry him right in the presence of the risen angel, who was carrying the sword to bring about the justice between the two. It is almost impossible to say that America can exist. If America is to exist, American ruling powers, it will make prophets of the Bible, even the Holy Quran, prophesies other than the truth. It is impossible to make them out liars who wrote the doom of a race that will come at a certain time, and that certain time is now known. The time can be prolonged, and the Messiah that the world had been looking for to come for 2,000 years. Desire, for he does what he please. This does not mean that he will change the idea of the doom and destruction of white America. But if he pleased, he could extend her time, and she had done almost a marvelous thing, like submitting to the righteous, taught and delivered to a mentally dead slave, so-called Negro. This is the only way America can exist, by bowing in submission to the will of God, taught by his messengers. The time that we are now living is a time of anger of God against the evildoers. It is a time that the God of righteousness rejoices to repay the evildoers and for their doing, and to reward the righteous for their righteousness. Therefore, to curve such a day a doomed man for the doing of righteousness, which by nature was not put in the right race. But they may yet be smart enough to bow, to put a stay to the execution for a few days longer, not by intermixing with a slave to enjoy it, long as they are blind, deaf, and dumb, and do not understand. This act only hastens their doom, while the foolish, blind, deaf, dumb, so-called man does not even know that he's being blind, deaf, and dumb to his slaughter. There is no such thing that evil rule peace. Also, the wicked, according to the prophet Jeremiah and Isaiah, are the ones who have destroyed the peace from amongst men. My advice to the white man is to make haste. Get in a hurry if you want to live. Bow and submit to that great truth and righteousness, the will of Allah. What will be the end of the war? See, many of you may think that America ends a war in Asia. This will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lull in a war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about peace of the war between each other, this does not mean that peace and prosperity is that short. Not this time. There's still the Cold War between America and Russia and other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. Europe will become a dreaded spot when America leaves Asia. It is true, as the prophet has predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out. Each, America and Russia, two most powerful war factors of the world, is seeking to maintain their rule over the nation of Earth and even to conquer outer space. This will not last long, and a travel investigation into space. Allah God is permitting them to peep to his great unequal creation of powers and mights, the heavens and earth. Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens the door of heaven to them. He gives them a peep into his great wisdom and secret. But this does not mean that this adds power to the enemies to be able to war against the Creator. The reason for all this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality. Black brothers do not look for high-paying jobs, drawing a big roll of money after the war, unless it's with the help of Allah God. You prepare this for yourself, which I advise you to do. The most dreadful divine judgment that have ever been witnessed by man are now coming on white America. White America is in a divine target because she could have better herself. Divine eyes of Allah God came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever. But white America did not and will not better herself as it is written, prophesied concerning ancient Babylon and Egypt. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. The Bible, Jeremiah 51, verse 9, because she was not willing to do justice for our captive Jews from Jerusalem. So it was with Pharaoh. When Allah Jehovah went after Egypt, the Bible, Exodus, Pharaoh refused to give justice to Israel and make war against Allah Jehovah and his prophet Moses to prevent Israel from going free of Pharaoh's enslavement of them. The war, America cannot win the victory. It is impossible for America to be the victors in this universal war because of divine intervention against her. Although she have enough deadly materials manufactured to try to win, can she win against Allah God? She boasts of her materials and being able to destroy the people of Earth 30 times. If she was left free to use the materials, maybe America could win. But the divine die was set against her long before she ever became America. She can try and boast of idea of mine to deceive her black slave. But she would deceive herself and them. See, America is made manifest by Almighty God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. That she is a total deadly enemy against her one slave. For many years, I have written that America's greatest sin is the evil done to her black slave. Allah God tends to repay her for what she hath done. She deceived the black slave right at the point of total destruction. She tried to rule the so-called Negro in with false and temporary promise by offering high political jobs to keep him from turning his attention to self and kind. The black politician could and should use his political knowledge to benefit self and kind. Why America isolate the messenger of God from their minds with these false promises and make them to hate the messenger of God and to work against him, although the messenger of God is working for the interests of the black slaves. The eyes and ears of Allah God are open, looking and listening to the actions. It's not necessary for Allah God to use mechanical devices. Allah God is physically willed, and he has willed physical eyes and ears. He's capable of seeing and hearing everything we do and say. He has power to defeat us and our plans, which are against his plans. The American slaveholders want to deceive the so-called to believing that Allah God is not paying attention to them. See, the white man want them to believe that he is the God that they should pay attention to. I warn my people to believe an idea that the white man is the God that they should pay attention to. You will come up the losers. Allah God has backed me up in the work He has given me to do. The work He has given me to do is for your own black starvation. If you think that you have starvation with the white man, then go ahead with him. I'm not here to force you against your own will, but I want you to know that if you are looking to white America for your starvation, you are headed with them to your and their destruction. There is no hope for America to win the war. There is no hope for the black man and the future of America. For America have no future for itself. She will not be able to win the war. See, the scholars and scientists know that America cannot win. See, it's, it's not just I alone saying this. Scholars and scientists will tell us America cannot win. And we know by divine prophecy that America cannot win. If it was just Russia, China, Vietnam, and North Korea using the judgment our best to destroy each other, maybe America could win. For she have as much as they have in war materials, scientific preparation. America is capable of going out of the atmosphere of the earth and to fight them from there. But she will not be able to go out of the atmosphere of the earth and destroy the black man of the earth. It is only a mistake that we should believe in America's ability to build a race station in the air on the moon, for she will not be able to use it against us. For divine plans is set to destroy her. We have many things out there in space that can be brought into action against America or any other nation today. For Allah is the greatest. The mother planes. You see, the mother planes was made to destroy this world of evil, to show the wisdom and mighty powers of the God who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. The nature of a new world is righteousness. See, the nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on this planet. Allah God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is wiser than any God before him. As the Bible, Holy Quran teaches us, he taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. Will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet prediction in this time of destruction of the old world and the bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. The Bible, Isaiah 24, verse 1. There are planes in various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this type of plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his powers? Destroy a nation. Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed it, God and his purpose, and aim for justice and righteousness. The right race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned to unrighteousness. They was made unrighteous by the false God who made them. Allah God came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching the height of 40 miles above the earth. Words could have been a sign meaning 40 years, in which the plane will go into actions, and that referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. Every word that he speaks has a meaning. The mother plane, according to what had been described of by the devil scientists, is capable of not only staying up for a long period of time, but it is also capable of eluding the scientists. They want to attack and destroy it. But if a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it would be destroyed instead. See, the white men have learned that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother planes. In the 1930s, the Canadian newspaper reported that they saw the wheel, the mother plane. It came down out of the sky. They admitted that it looks like a great city and something came down from it. It appears to be a tube. The tube like thing went back up again. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that after 6 months to a year, the mother plane come into gravity of the earth. It takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of the earth gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel prophecy of the will. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision. According to the Bible, he looked up, saw this plane. In Ezekiel 1:16, he called it a will because it was made like a will. A plane that is well shaped can turn any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful. And he cried out, "O will." Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in the will, and 4 living creatures. And a work was as it were a will in the middle of a will. Ezekiel 1:16. And when the living creatures went, the will went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the will was lifted up. Ezekiel 1:19. Power of the lifting up of the 4 creatures was in the will. The 4 creatures represent the 4 colors of the original people of the earth. There are 5 great powers of the nations of the earth. These 5 powers are the black, brown, yellow, red, and white. Of the 4 original powers, the red is not an equal part. The vision shows the 4 creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the wheel was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the wheel stood, they stood. This means that they waited upon the movement of the wheel. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the wheel, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take coals of fire and scatter over the cities. This means bombs. It can mean fire too, however. The plane is to drop bombs, which will automatically be timed to bore quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth, where our time to explore. See, Allah God taught me that these bombs are not to be dropped into the water. They are to be dropped only on the cities. It will be the work of the will. The will is the power of the 4 creatures, namely the 4 colors of the black man, the black, brown, yellow, and red. The red aliens is to benefit also for the judgment of the world. We must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous that which is hindering the righteous, making progress, and destroy the effect of the poison of that which has opposed the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It's like one being bitten by a rattlesnake. Quickly, medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected and the patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore Ezekiel's vision of the will, for the make and destructive works of the will were foretold before it came to pass. The disbelievers believe that which he see present, and not that which is prophesied to come. That is why he's the losers and take the course to hell, because he disbelieve in that which is prophesied to come about on a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. He is fascinating him with sport and play, and they're doing the evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. We never thought the day would come when you would see your wife, mother, an old grave-headed woman walking down the streets half nude. A few years ago, they would not have dared to come out into the public like that. But now they do so, so the devil has put his approval on this kind of entire the desire to please the devil, to do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take this black man with him to his doom. Let us not classify the prophet as liars, ignore the prophecy. We may cause ourselves destruction through belief in the devil instead of belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal of the mother plane. It's the reason why she is called the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the make of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe of floating planets, stars which are supported only by the power of Allah and their rotation and their orbits. Allah God came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, taught me that the mother plane is a little human made planet. It's not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if he wants to. The mother plane is capable of staying out of the Earth's gravity for a whole year. She's capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen, as any other plane is able to do. The mother plane can carry the same type of bombs on her that our black scientists dropped on the planet Earth to bring up mountains out of the Earth after the Earth was created. The knowledge how to do this had not been given to the world right race, nor would ever get this kind of knowledge. The knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil would get this kind of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are not able to attain this kind of knowledge. Now, what does a 6-day-old baby right race look like trying to compete with a 6-year-old child, black nation? For the 6-year-old child to run all out in the yard and play. He can eat solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. The knowledge and power of this world right race is limited. The world of the white man was made from what he found and what he has seen and learned from the work of the original black man. The white race is far from being able to equal the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane and her work is a display of the power of the mighty God, Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever. Master Fala Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best knower. He is the mightiest of them all. Oh, will, said the prophet Ezekiel. She was so high up in the sky that she looks dreadful. She's capable of staying away from you who plans the destruction of her. She's capable of confusing you who will try to reach her with your means of destruction. There are scientists on the mother plane who knows what you are thinking about before the thought materializes. Holy Quran, Surah 50:16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you cannot attack her. The mother plane can hide behind other stars and make herself invisible to the eyes because she does not have to wait on the power from the earth. She can use her own power and to go wherever she desires to go in space. The mother plane is not like the little bullets or cameras which are powered by your limited powers. The Bible prophesies that today Allah God wished to make known to us that He is God. He wished to be respected as the superior God. He wished all life in the universe to know that He is the greatest. The Muslim recognize Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, you are the greatest. There is no God like unto you, none deserve to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will, I repeat, that there's plenty to make of the mother plane. There is much to the course operation of her work. Space here in this book is limited, but what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book forms. O will, make the rock, the earth, and to heap up mountains upon the earth. O will, destroyer of nations. See, no wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesies that the earth shall read to and fro like a drunkard. Let us seek refuge in Allah and God from destructive works to come from this mother plane. The decision. Holy Quran, Surah 78, verse 2. Of the tremendous announcements, the day of decision we are now living in, the time in which we must decide on what shall we do. It is very important that we arrive at a solution, come to a defined agreement. You black men of America are holding back your decisions. You are waiting because of the people who have brought this day of decision to us by the way of rule. The rule is in a way of injustice. Now the God of justice before us, we must decide upon whether or not we accept a change, a ruler, remain under present rule that is passing from the scene. We must decide rightly in order to relieve the people of pressure of injustice. Let our decision be for the benefits of our present and our future generations. We have no objection to that person who makes up his mind to remain in what he is already in. However, this announcement is of great importance, led before you and me, that we may come to some kind of decision, agreement on what we shall do about the truth of this announcement. The announcement is the truth. It's asking us to decide on whether or not we are going to accept the truth, remain in falsehood. It is called the day of decision. Decide this day which God you shall serve, the God of freedom, justice, and equality, or the same old wicked God who rule Allah God is here to bring an end to. The wicked ruler veiled the eyes of the people with falsehood, so that people may take falsehood for truth, and truth for falsehood. This is what the Bible and Holy Quran teach us. All an important announcement made by the prophet from Moses to the present day. The enemy of truth had deceived the people and made the people think that they would listen to falsehood, to make the people think that the prophet and his God was too weak to prevail over falsehood with truth. What is said here in this writing is directed to the black man in America. He is the real one who must decide on whether or not to remain in what he is in or accept a better world that is ruled by the God of freedom, justice, and equality. My black brothers, I want you to know that you are in a pitiful condition here in this day in which the announcement is being made to you to make up your mind about what you are going to do. In plain words, I wish to write here and tell you that you do not have a long time in which to decide on what you want to do. Thinking that you have a long time to decide is a mistake that people made in the past. Noah's people, Lot's people, was the losers for ignoring the announcement for these worthy prophets. They waited for they thought that what they had was going to continue to be. We here in America do not have to wait and see, for America is falling up under divine chastisement, and destruction is taking place before your and my eyes. Also, the Bible and Holy Quran prophesies of these days of what is going on. These are the days of judgment of Allah God against the wicked. To see more may mean the end of your life and my life, as it was with the people of Noah and Lot, who were to see more. They could not come to decisive point of agreement. They waited, and maybe you too will wait. To wait for the truth to be fulfilled means that we will suffer the consequences of the truth for not accepting the truth. The day of decision. As there was opponents of the prophets in the past, We have opponents of the prophets in this modern time. With all of the warning that was given before these days, we can make our decision so easily. Remember, the people of Noah have no prophets nor scriptures before Noah. Again, remember that even as late as the time of Moses, the people of Moses, the Israelites, had no previously scriptures before Moses. You black brothers are better off. You have all of the scriptures that was given to the prophet throughout the whole 6,000 years of this white man on the planet Earth. And then you will be so foolish as to delay in making a good decision until you see something happen. As the Holy Quran and the Bible teach us, till you see the angels coming in the cloud of heaven, before you make up your mind. But still, probably, you will reject that. Surely will not come in the cloud of heaven. But as the Holy Quran teaches you, it will not be a good day for you. We are waited for such time. When angels come in the cloud of heaven, they will not be coming to do anything like preaching or giving you further knowledge. It's prophesied that on the day of judgment, the angel will come to execute judgment on you for not believing, to save those who do believe. The preachers, the messengers is the first to be judged. Then the angels come to execute judgment on those who did not believe the message. The angels in the time of Lot are a good warning to you today. Those people was lost. The angels came to execute judgment on opponents and disbelievers of Lot in the city on the plain where he was living. The day of decision only means the resurrection and judgment of the present world. And Jesus prophesied as it was in the days of Noah, Abraham and Lot, so will be today. It was eating and drinking and having a good time, as they called it. But it's not a good time, it's a wicked time. The history teaches us that by waiting there was the losers, but yet it will be the same today. It is the same for what's going on now. You are rejecting this truth and you are accepting falsehood instead. Naturally, enemy of truth is angry, but the bearers of truth. Because by nature, the enemy was not made of truth. It was made of falsehood. But again, the Bible teaches that whoever believe the same shall be saved. This is truth, whether he is white or black. If a white man, woman, boy, or girl believe, even though by nature they are not the real righteous, the faith will get them out of the hell that Allah God threatened this world with. And the time will be prolonged. I'm sure that you know this. They also know this. A remnant of them will escape if they had the faith in Allah, and God, and His religion, Islam. As Jesus prophesies in the Bible, that even though the enemy gives one of his believers a drink of water, not being an act of goodness, God will not deprive that act of His goodness, of His reward. Make up your mind. Come to a right decision. I warn you.